The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Dubby's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by Dubby, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. Dubby's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/discount/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. Dubby Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. Good morning, everybody. It is the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton. We are starting a little early today because I've got to take my youngest son to a doctor's appointment scheduled at 8:50, so I need to be done here by at least 7 or 8:30-ish. So I needed to say, look, let me just do a show so I don't miss a show. There's no way in hell I was going to miss a show following an NFL Sunday like that, or start a show super late. I don't know what time I would have been out of the doctor's appointment or any of that other stuff. So I said, you know what? We've got to do this show right damn now at 7:30. So yes, we're a little early. I apologize because I know it's a little different than what we're normally doing, but I wanted to make sure we did a show today. I am sacrificing my time for you. Not really. I just wanted to do a show because I love to hear my own voice. Man, yesterday was a super fun NFL week. I got a couple of games wrong in my picks. I went bold with a couple of them. I've got to look up what my picks were right now, so that way I can make sure I have all of where I went wrong here. So I chose the Jaguars to beat the Cincinnati Bengals. That was wrong. Although the Jags did put up quite a fight. The Jaguars did put up a little bit of a fight in that game yesterday. 31-27 winds up being the final score of that game. And the reason why I wanted to start off with that was because Joe Burrow gets hurt in the first half of that game, goes 7 of 13 up from the field, passing the ball, 76 yards, got a tutty, but goes down with turf, like what everyone was saying was turf toe, but winds up being a injury that is going to cost him significant time now going forward. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow was helped into the locker room yesterday because he got injured in the first half of Sunday's game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. The future of the team with Super Bowl aspirations limped into uncertainty. Burrow was ruled out for the second half, but that didn't stop the Bengals from pulling out a 31-27 win for their first 2-0 start in 7 seasons. Jake Browning stepped in and completed 21 of 32 attempts for 241 yards with 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. He looks to be the starter for the foreseeable future after Adam Schefter reported that Burrow's turf toe will require surgery and he will be sidelined for a minimum of 3 months. Joe Burrow has battled injuries throughout his career is what the article is going on to say. Most recently, he suffered a season-ending right wrist injury in 2023, and then Browning went 4-3 in relief. Burrow played in all 17 games in 2024 and earned a Pro Bowl last year. Okay. This was something that we had kind of spoke about. I want to say Augustine and B. Strilla and I, like we had kind of spoken about this previously. And it was the importance of Joe Burrow needing to be healthy the entire time. The entire time. In order for the Cincinnati Bengals to have any type of hope. And you see, yeah, they start off 2-0. And they looked halfway decent, right? Like they struggled against the Cleveland Browns, but that's to be expected. You don't know what to expect in week 1. Like all kinds of weird things can happen in week 1. So I was expecting the Bengals here to struggle even with a healthy Joe Burrow. I was expecting the Bengals to struggle with the Jacksonville Jaguars just because their defense is bad. Their defense is objectively bad. Right? Like there's no sugarcoating any of that nonsense. And ultimately they get the win. They improve to 2-0, but you lose the franchise quarterback now for the foreseeable future. All the money that you loaded up into offense, paying T. Higgins, paying Jamar Chase, making sure you kept those guys. Losing players along the offensive line, losing players along the defensive line, losing defensive pieces, even though you already had a pretty bad defense to begin with. All that adding up, compiling up, becoming more and more issues for the Cincinnati Bengals. And then you complete all, like the biggest issue you can possibly get, a hurt Joe Burrow. But it seems like this is the trend now with Joe Burrow, right? Great season, followed by an injury, followed by a great season, followed by an injury, followed by a great season, followed by an injury. That seems to be the trend now with Joe Burrow. He's going to be out 3 months, which means he comes back in December. Do Bengals fans, do the Bengals really feel like Jake Browning is going to be able to keep them treading above water? That's going to be the real issue with the Cincinnati Bengals going forward right now, right? Like, what do you do? Your team should be quarterback proof, right? Your team should be able to do all kinds of things because you have such amazing talent on offense. Whoever the quarterback is should be able to get in there and throw the ball and drop dimes and do all the things like that you would want your quarterback to be able to do. However, and again, big caveat here, however, that's not how it works. Like ideally, even with Joe Burrow being completely healthy, this was a 8 to 9, maybe 10 win team. And now without Joe Burrow, we're expecting the Cincinnati Bengals to tread water with Jake Browning as their quarterback. Maybe they make a trade. Maybe they try to bring in somebody else that can get them through this season. Maybe they talk to Cleveland, try to bring in Joe Flacco or something like that. I don't even think there's like a good free agent quarterback that's out there that they can just call up and be like, hey, maybe you come in and help get us through this stretch that we're going through right now. And the reason why, like, I'm talking so, I don't want to say negative, but it kind of feels that way, like I'm talking negatively about the Cincinnati Bengals, is because there was that level of expectation on the Cincinnati Bengals, right? Like Joe Burrow and that offense. You paid so much money for Joe Burrow and that offense, and you just haven't been able to do anything. And now it gets worse. And now it gets worse. I get it, they're 2-0. It's super early in the season. We don't need to be putting any weight on anybody's record right now. It's 2 weeks into the season for some teams. Some teams still haven't played. But Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals going forward in the future, he's going to require a toe surgery that's going to have him sidelined for the next 3 months. That means Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals, in my mind, are done. If Joe Burrow's not coming back till December at the earliest, then the Cincinnati Bengals are done. I know they're 2-0 right now. That does not mean anything. Let's wait the next 3 months and see what happens with the Cincinnati Bengals, because they are done. And then yesterday, this is what the weird thing is, right? Like I was sitting here thinking about all of my picks. I had a pretty bad week with my picks. I gotta go back to the scores, all the different scores in the NFL season. Let's see if we can share the screen real quick. That way y'all can see what it is that I am seeing. Okay. So I had the Jags over the Bengals, which we see is wrong right here. The Bengals got themselves a 31-27 win. I had the Cowboys beating the Giants, which was, as a Dallas Cowboys fan, that was a terrifying game. That shows you how bad this season's going to be for the Dallas Cowboys, because they were struggling against the New York Giants, a team that we have all said is a bad team, a team that has no expectations. I get it. It's a divisional game. Anything can happen in a divisional game, but the Dallas Cowboys struggling defensively the way that they struggled against the New York Giants, they're in trouble. Like they're not, the Cowboys aren't going to be a good team this year. I've said it all season long, or all off season long. There may be a fringe playoff team at best. If you're a Cowboys fan, do not have expectations. The Cricket Commission saying you're on early today. I am. I started the show 30 minutes early because I got to leave for a doctor's appointment for my son. My youngest son has to be at the doctor's appointment by 8:50. So I've got to be done today by 8:30 my time in order to take him to his doctor's appointment. Got to be a good dad. Family comes first. And then the podcast family. Y'all, my podcast community. And I'm surprised, Commish, like I am surprised that somebody's even watching right now, because it was something that just got laid on me right now. Like, oh, by the way, don't forget about this appointment. It was like, oh, shit, really? Yeah, totally forgot about that. I mean, I didn't forget about that. I'm a great dad. Going over my picks, I had the Jags, got the Jags wrong. Had the Cowboys, got the Cowboys right. Had the Lions, got the Lions right. Had the Rams, got the Rams right. Had the Patriots over the Dolphins, got that right. Look at me, looking like an oracle so far. Only had one bad pick. Had the Steelers over the Seahawks, so I blew that one. Had the Ravens over the Browns. That was an easy one. I had the Broncos beating the Colts. That was a fun game. I'm surprised that it kind of was that fun. I didn't watch the whole game, but it was on at a bar that I was like, sitting back, chilling, watching some of the stuff happening. That was a fun game. I had the Saints beating the 49ers just because I thought the injuries would catch up to the 49ers. The 49ers are now 2-0 on the season. Congrats to the 49ers. Chose the Bills over the Jets. That was a correct pick. chose the Cardinals over the Panthers. That was correct, even though the Cardinals did everything they could late in that game to try and lose that game. It was not a game that I was very confident in. Had the Chiefs over the Eagles, that was a wrong pick. The Chiefs 0-2 right now on the season. So it's going to be a bit of a struggle, it seems like, with the Kansas City Chiefs. But the Eagles also not looking like they're firing. Like, I know they're 2-0, but they've struggled against the Cowboys. They struggled against the Chiefs. Both teams objectively don't have, like they're not complete teams. The Chiefs offense is not great. The Cowboys defense is, as we saw against the Giants, not good at all. I had the Vikings beating the Falcons, and that was wrong. The Falcons doing what the Falcons do. I didn't even get to see any part of that game. I was out doing a bunch of other stuff, but I didn't get to see any part of that Sunday night game. J.J. McCarthy looking like the rookie we thought he would look like. Maybe J.J. McCarthy's magic only happens against the Bears, right? Like it took a complete team collapse by the Bears to do this. And it's not like, I guess what it was, just a running game. I'm looking at the stuff right now. Bijan Robinson, 143 yards. Tyler Algier, 76 yards. Not a lot in the passing game, 135 yards from Michael Penix. So that must have just been a boring run-only game. But I got that one wrong. So we got the Cowboys, the Lions, the Rams, the Patriots, the Bills, the Ravens, the Cards right. So we got 7 picks right. We missed the Jags, the Saints, the Steelers, the Broncos, the Chiefs, and the Vikings. And we got 7 picks or 6 picks wrong. 7 and 6 so far. We've got the Bucs and the Chargers. Those are the 2 teams that we're going with tonight. I got the Buccaneers over the Texans. I know Houston is a 2.5-point favorite at home. Then you got the Chargers going to Las Vegas. They are a 3.5-point favorite on the road, which means if you know anything about betting, they are an insurmountable favorite over the Las Vegas Chargers, or Raiders rather. Las Vegas Chargers also has a ring to it. One day I'll get the Chargers name right. I keep calling them the San Diego Chargers, the Las Vegas Chargers right now. It's not a good look for your boy. But 7 and 6. Not terrible, not great. You win at a 50% clip. I guess it looks good, but I want to be better. Probably shouldn't have chose the Jaguars, but that's our second favorite team on this show, and I had faith that they would be able to beat the Cincinnati Bengals because the Cincinnati Bengals defense is just god-awful. And as we spoke about at the top of the show, Joe Burrow's injury requiring surgery, that Joe Burrow is going to be out for the next 3 months. That's going to be that's going to be a major blow for them. And I could have swore last week, I'm like, man, the Steelers look really good. The Steelers are going to be a phenomenal team. Aaron Rodgers against that Jets defense looks like he can carve anybody up. I was all in. That's why I was like, man, I'm going to choose the Steelers here over the Seahawks. The Seahawks didn't look that good against San Francisco. San Francisco's defense not, as great as we thought it was. But then I had to remember, holy shit, it's a 1-week sample. A 1-week sample. I didn't even realize that Mason Rudolph got in the game. Aaron Rodgers sacked 3 times, threw 2 interceptions, 200 yards, passing, 18-33. Not great. Sam Darnold, on the other hand, 22 of 33 for 295 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Did weather play like an was there weather in this game? I didn't get to watch again. Admittedly, I didn't get to watch a lot of games. I was at the baseball stadium, producing, doing all the stuff that I've got to do at the baseball stadium. So, admittedly, I didn't get to watch a lot of this stuff. Then I went out for drinks afterwards, and I got to watch a couple of the games there at a bar. Kenneth Walker had over 100 yards rushing. The Pittsburgh rushing attack, I was kind of expecting more, right? Like I'm not just saying like in yesterday's game, even against the Jets, I was kind of expecting more. It looks like Pittsburgh's going to have a harder time running the ball, and if you have to rely on Aaron Rodgers, like I'm going to have to see what the hell happened in this game that brought Mason Rudolph in there. Like, did Aaron Rodgers get hurt or something? Let's look at highlights. There we go. Nice and muted, so that's good. Going to look at some of the highlights here. I didn't get to do a lot of my show prep today either. I haven't even had coffee yet. That shows you what kind of day it was today. I'm looking at the screen, and there's no weather going on at all. Pittsburgh's defense not able to get to Sam Darnold to start the game, so the Seahawks get themselves a 7-0 lead. Aaron Rodgers drops back to pass. That was actually a halfway decent pass for the touchdown. That was to DK Metcalf. Okay, so like weather wasn't a thing in this game. Sam Darnold looking like he's a really good quarterback all of a sudden, which is still kind of weird. There's a part of me that like wants to put the video up on the stream, but I know if I do that I'll get the hell happened there. What the hell happened there? Wait a minute. Did that touch? There's no way. I've got to look into that now. I am watching a play on a kickoff where it bounces in the landing zone, rolls into the end zone. Pittsburgh does nothing. Is that the rule? Like I'm confused by this. Like, did it touch the guy from Pittsburgh? Or the rule is because it landed in the landing zone, if it rolls into the end zone, it could be recovered for a touchdown. Because if that's the case, that is an awesome rule. I'm going to have to look into that. Like I wish I had more time right now to be able to like look into this thing. So I'm going to do that right now while I'm here. Because I'm sure that's going to be trending as like the verbiage on that particular rule. That is awesome. Okay, so here are the rules. A ball lands in the landing zone, which is the 20-yard line to the goal line. The kick must be returned. If the receiving team downs the ball in the landing zone, it's a touchback, and the offense starts at the 20-yard line. If the ball lands in the landing zone and bounces into the end zone, it must be returned or downed, with a downed ball resulting in a touchback at the 20-yard line. But is it a live ball? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out here. Is it a live ball? I'm learning right here on the show about the dynamic kickoff rule. Looking at miscellaneous stuff. It doesn't give me any of these rules. I'm assuming that that's what the rule is. I'll have to do more research on it to figure it out. Like, I didn't even know that that was a play that happened. And I kind of want to show it now to the streaming audience here. So let me see if I can do that without getting kicked off. This is what I'm watching. I wonder if I can make it bigger. No, I can't. Oh, well. I messed that up. It's probably going to give me a commercial again. Yep. We'll remove that for now while it plays the commercial so it can do its thing. Again, little housekeeping. Yes, we are early on today's show because of having to be a dad. I got dad duties that I got to do. Got to take my son to a doctor's appointment. Just a checkup. There's nothing wrong with him, but it's a checkup. And I'm debating, since I have today off, whether or not I want my son to have the whole day off with me too, or if I'm just going to, take him to school after his appointment. We'll see how it goes. Maybe if he gets immunizations or something like that, we keep him home. We just hang out and have ourselves a good old time. Been a little bit of time since Dad's gotten to just hang out with the boys. That's how it was over the summer. I miss it. They've been to school now for almost a little over 2 months, or about to be 2 months. I'm really bad with these things. So this is what I'm talking about. The kick lands. It looks like it might have touched the guy's hands, but I don't think it does. It rolls into the end zone and winds up being a touchdown, like recovered for a touchdown by the Pittsburgh Steelers, which was something I just wasn't like. I don't know about that rule. So here we go. Let's see. Seattle had just taken a 3-point lead on a 54-yard field goal by Jason Myers when his kickoff bounced in front of I'm trying to look at it. It has a guy's in front of Caleb Johnson, a rookie running back now moonlighting as the kick returner. The ball hopped over Johnson's outstretched hands at about the Pittsburgh 5. Johnson headed towards the sideline thinking the play was over. It wasn't. Holani tracked the ball down just before it rolled across the end line for an unlikely score that put the Seahawks up 24-14. Excellent judgment by another player from a running back turned special teamer. The Seahawks reviewed that exact same scenario Friday night in the unlikely event it might turn up in the game. So again, I'm learning the rule here. I know this isn't very riveting stuff that we're doing here on the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton right now. But it really feels like I didn't know that was a rule. And I kind of love now that that's a rule. If the ball lands in the landing zone and doesn't get returned and it just rolls into the end zone, it is still a live ball, which I guess makes sense, right? Like that's kind of, I think it's always been that way. I just don't think it's something that's happened very often. I remember seeing that as like one of those weird things on Madden. Like if you kick the ball really high and it lands and then it doesn't go into the end zone, like you can recover it. Like it's basically like a long onside kick. So yeah, I mean that makes a lot more sense to me now. Seeing that, I did not realize that was a play. Like I said, because I had to do today's show a little early. I got home super late last night. Didn't get to do a whole bunch in terms of research today. But seeing that that's kind of the way that the Steelers Seahawks game went, one, it makes me so happy, so damn happy that that's the way it goes. Our dude B Strilla saying good morning, Tip. Good morning to you, Strilla. Hope that you are having yourself a fantastic day. It's Monday. We've been talking football. We're a little early on today's show, and that's fine because you know what that means. If we started the show 30 minutes early and we're 30 minutes in, it's time for Just the Tip.
I just wanna put the tip in.
It's time for
Just a Tip.
That would make me uncomfortable.
Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip. Just the tip.
It's time for Just the Tip.
Just the Tip is brought to you by our friends over at www.myhappynuts.com. Go visit myhappynuts.com. Guys, you got to take care of yourselves from your pits to your tip. We've got the whole body deodorant. We've got all kinds of stuff. The lawnmower 2.0, the bulber. They've got everything that you need. Go check them out. www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code Mike Tipton at checkout and save on all your male grooming needs. Beastrill saying, I'm on late, LOL. Augustine saying, what do you mean you started early? We started at 7:30. I started at 7:30 today because I was reminded at the last minute that Jinder, my youngest son, has an appointment at 8:50, and there was no way that I was going to miss doing a show today following what this weekend was whenever it came down to football. Because I don't know what time the appointment's going to end, and I know I've got things I've got to do at around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, around that time. So if I didn't do a show at 7:30, there wasn't going to be a show, and there was no way I was going to let there not be a show. We've spoken about Joe Burrow's turf toe injury, how he's going to be out for an extended period of time. That injury is going to require surgery, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter, and Joe Burrow will be out for the next 3 months. I know Cincinnati's 2-0 right now, but it might not be good. Augustine saying, take your phone and do a show from the road. Yes, because that would be super safe. I have a manual transmission with a small child. Focus on doing the show while also driving. Yeah, that's not going to happen, my guy. I've got a hard enough time being able to multitask sitting here. Much less on the road trying to do a show. Do it from the doctor's office. Be inside the doctor's office with my kid. Okay. Watch him as he gets immunized. His immunizations. More immunizations than Aaron Rodgers gets. August is saying a manual transmission? What's that? A manual transmission. August is saying, like, my car paddles on the wheel, right? No, like, I've got an '08 Mustang GT convertible. It's a manual transmission, and that's the way I like it. Like, I hate the fact that cars now do not have manual transmissions. Like it's something that you gotta gotta really try hard to find. Our guy Tommy Cananza tuning in right now saying, what's up, fellas? What's up, Tommy? I have yet to really deep dive into the Dallas Cowboys and the 40-37 win that the Dallas Cowboys had over the New York Giants. I mean, there's one thing we know. That Russell Wilson is a Hall of Fame. So the Dallas Cowboys beating a Hall of Fame quarterback who threw for 450 yards. Jesus, Dallas's defense is bad. Was sacked 3 times, so there were some sacks by the Dallas Cowboys defense. And the whole time I'm sitting there like whenever it came down to crunch time in that fourth quarter, where you knew that the Giants were going to have to sit back and pass the ball, you kind of thought to yourself, man, if the Dallas Cowboys had an elite pass rusher right now, or just even a warm body that can be a pass rusher right now, this game could be completely different. Instead, Russell Wilson had all kinds of time back there. It was crazy. But the Cowboys, I will say this, for what they're trying to do, how they said they wanted to stop the run. The Dallas Cowboys stopped the run. Cam Scatteraboo runs the ball 11 times for 45 yards. Russell Wilson ran the ball 3 times for 23 yards. Tyrone Tracy 5 times for 15 yards. The Cowboys as a team gave up a total of 84 rushing yards. So the run defense has gotten better for the Dallas Cowboys. Just hands down, has gotten better for the Dallas Cowboys. But you see the pass rush, like I know they got 3 sacks, but you see the pass rush just isn't there. And the Dallas Cowboys saw that the pass rush just isn't there. So what do the Dallas Cowboys go out and do? They go out and they get Jadeveon Clowney. After yesterday's game, Adam Schefter, tweets out, they put all the stuff out that the Dallas Cowboys are going to sign Jadeveon Clowney to a deal so that way he can wind up becoming their, I guess, their new pass rusher. It's a 1-year deal for up to $6 million. And if Jadeveon Clowney can just be a guy that can go out there and get pressures, I think it'll help the Dallas Cowboys out. I genuinely do. But it's also, to me, like it's so weird to get a read on what the Dallas Cowboys are doing right now because it's so early in the season, right? And then you have 2 very mobile quarterbacks. Like, yes, Russell Wilson, even though he's 1,000 years old, is still a mobile quarterback. We saw that with what he was able to do on his feet. But man, I'm sitting here again. I'm at the baseball stadium. I'm doing my job. I'm looking up, and I'm watching the Cowboys game, keeping a track on what's going on at the baseball game, doing all kinds of stuff that I've got to do. And the whole time I'm sitting here thinking to myself, you're struggling against the New York Giants, a team that we all say is objectively bad. They are not a good team. Tommy Cananza saying, Jerry said, F this crap. Clowney, what do you want? It's yours. He probably should have said that to Micah. But I get it. You trade draft. Like, obviously, what's done is done. Micah Parsons no longer a part of the Dallas Cowboys. But the whole time I'm just thinking to myself, imagine if you had a pass rusher right now. How different this game could have gone. It was a fun game. An absolutely fun game. But man, did the Dallas Cowboys put me through it. Dak Prescott, 38 of 52 pass attempts, 361 yards, 2 tutties and an interception. Russell Wilson, 30 of 41 for 450 yards, 3 touchdowns and an interception. Wan'Dale Robinson helping out my fantasy team, 8 receptions for 142 yards and a tutty. Malik Neighbors, 9 receptions for 167 yards and a tutty. CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson each had 9 catches, 112 yards for Lamb, 78 yards for Ferguson. George Pickens got 5 receptions, 68 yards and a touchdown. Kevontae Turpin, 4 receptions, 47 yards and a tutty as well. The Dallas Cowboys run game was awesome to watch. Javonte Williams, I'm slowly becoming a Javonte Williams fan. 18 carries, 97 yards, and a touchdown. Miles Sanders, 5 carries for 15 yards and a tutty as well. Dak Prescott, 3 rushes and 17 yards, all of them coming on one singular play where Dak Prescott showed the entire world that, one, he's mobile yet again, but also cannot slide. Like Dak Prescott's slide was one of the ugliest slides I have seen a quarterback do in quite some time. You got to get that stuff fixed, my guy. Augustine Pimentel saying they made Russell Wilson seem like a good quarterback, and he absolutely stinks. That is a Hall of Fame quarterback that we're talking about right now. Russell Wilson is a Hall of Fame quarterback. Like, he could reach into his bag and pull that magic out every now and then. Tommy Cananza coming up with a nickname, Javon Train Williams. There we go. Get on that J train. We already got a J train, though. At least with my national streaming sports crew, we've got a J train. But I do like Javon Train Williams. That dude is running like he's got a contract pending, and he kind of does. But that was fun. Like that Cowboys. As a Cowboys fan, I was super stressed out But that was a fun game to watch. Anytime you get free football, like it's great. At least for me. I thought it was great. Brandon Aubrey kicking a 64-yard field goal to get the team to overtime, then a 46-yard field goal in overtime to win the game. It really was awesome. Like it was, I'm not just saying that as a Cowboys fan because they got the win. Like it really was an awesome game to watch. Kudos to the Cowboys and the Giants for putting on a show yesterday. An absolute show. Tommy Cadanza saying Brandon Aubrey is the GOAT. The GOAT. Ashley Candelaria saying kickers are MVPs. And then B. Strill saying Aubrey is the effing man. Dude, he made that 64-yard field goal look easy. Like, it shouldn't be that easy. I'm glad that he's the Dallas Cowboys kicker. Don't get me wrong. But a 64-yard field goal should not look like just a sweep of a leg and it's that easy. Like, it felt like it was up in the air for an hour and a half. Like, it genuinely felt that way. Bistro bringing Ashley back down to earth, saying, let's not get carried away, Ashley. Let's not forget, though, Strilla, what was it, 1980, 1981? Wasn't the Washington then Redskins kicker the MVP? I've got to look at what it was. What year did a kicker win the MVP? (1982) Mark Mosley. Hey, it doesn't matter if it was a strike year. Doesn't matter. I that was 2 years before I was born. I didn't know it was a strike year, but a kicker won MVP. So there has been a precedent set that the kicker has won the MVP. Dak Prescott is now 14-2 against the New York Giants. And he hasn't lost a game to the New York Giants since his rookie season. You got to go all the way back to December 11th of 2016 for the last time the Dallas Cowboys beat or lost to the New York Giants with Dak Prescott as their quarterback. He is 14-2, an .875 win percentage against the New York Giants. And I want to say that it's Dan Marino versus the Patriots as the only quarterback with a higher win percentage. So we're looking it up right now. Bistro saying, oh, it matters. There will never be another MVP kicker. And saying, Tommy Canon's saying, wow, I didn't know that. Reminding me that it's actually Bob Greasy. Bob Greasy. I'm looking at like all-time win percentages against a certain team. StatMuse not helping me out here. I gotta go back. I'll figure like if you're saying it's Bob Greasy, I believe you that's Bob Greasy. I think it's only like Bob Greasy that has that type of record, right? Like up there with Dak Prescott of absolutely dominating a team. Since I think it's Bob Greasy, you tell me it's Brian Greasy, we got some problems. 3 more wins against the Giants and Dak ties the record. I mean, that's foreseeable, right? Or possible. Like, you could see Dak Prescott beating the Giants again this year. Tommy's saying that he saw on one of those shows. Okay, there we go. Beastrail saying, let me shout out about these idiotic narratives that some of the media have said about the Lions' offensive and defensive coordinators. Get the F out of here. We got to give the Lions their love, man. Like I said, yesterday was a fun day. Like I want to say, let's see. The Crooked Commish, clearly his team loses to the to Beastrill's team, to the Lions. Ashley's Eagles got to win. Mine and Tommy's Cowboys got to win. Augustine's Patriots got to win. Obviously, it was against the Dolphins, and the Dolphins are like picking on the kid that has 2 left feet. I'll say it the nice way. Beating the Dolphins is like beating the kid that rode the short bus, aka Augustine. Augustine's bus was a 2-seater. That was unnecessary. I apologize. Vistrilla starting the hashtag offensive lines matter. Yes, they do. They 100% matter. The Lions with a 52-21 win. 52-21 win. It felt like Dan Campbell was out there to try to prove a point. Like, Ben Johnson, you dirty son of a bitch. You wish you had this. 14 points in the first quarter. 14 points in the second quarter, 10 points in the third quarter, 14 points in the fourth quarter. The Lions were pouring it on, and I am all here for it. No mercy on your division rival, especially if your division rival head coach used to coach on your team last year. Augustine saying that the Miami Dolphins equal the UTEP Miners. Let me give. And like you already know me, guys. I don't think there's such a thing as moral victories in sports, but watching UTEP only lose to the number 7 team, Texas, by 17 points proves 2 things. UTEP might be getting a little better, and that the University of Texas Longhorns got themselves a problem. Like, I don't know what the problem is, but whenever you pay a team $1.7 million to go into your stadium to lose, you need to beat the dog shit out of that team. I agree with Augustine. Texas is supremely overrated. I've said that 1,000 times. I hate these preseason rankings because teams like USC, Notre Dame, Texas, Michigan, sorry, Strilla, I know you're not going to like that, but whenever they weren't great, whenever they were just good, we're always given these top 10 seeds. And it's so hard to fall out of that top 10 just based off of who you are. Like if they started the top 25 ranking a month into the season, I'd be happy with it. But having a preseason number 1 just feels absolutely terrible. Tommy Canon's saying the Miners hung in there with Texas in the first half at least. I'd say they hung in there even through most of the third quarter. It's just at the end of the game, it was a bit much. Like it just became a bit much. That's where the size difference. Those you got D1 athletes on both sides, but you got D1 athletes at one school and D1 athletes at another school. Bistrell saying some of the Lions players didn't take well to the home crowd yelling F Ben Johnson, but I get it. No, I 100% get it, right? Do the Cowboys play the Packers in Green Bay? That's what I got to check out. Do the Cowboys play the Packers in Green Bay? No, that's in Dallas. That's in Dallas that the Cowboys will play the Green Bay Packers. Because what I was going to say, if that game was going to be in Green Bay, then you can picture the crowd in Green Bay just chanting, "Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Jerry." Man, it was such a fun weekend. And like I said, guys, I got to do some more housekeeping right here. So I started today's show 30 minutes early because I do have to take my youngest son to a doctor's appointment at 8:50. Luckily, it's right down the street, so I ain't got to worry too much about traffic or any of that other stuff. Plus, 8 o'clock, there probably shouldn't be a lot of traffic. If there is, then something's messed up on the east side, and I messed up all my planning. So I started the show at 7:30 today. It'll be the only time this week that I do the show at 7:30. So that means today's show ends at 8:30. But we can keep the conversation going. I'm all about it. Let's find a way to do it because I wanted to make sure that I did a show following this past weekend. It was such a fun weekend of football. B Strilla saying, "Oh, you ain't hurting my feelings on Michigan." I need to listen to Strilla some more so that I can learn how to do a B Strilla accent. Oh, you ain't hurting my feelings on Michigan. That was way too country. I got to listen to it some more so I can learn how to do a B Strilla accent because I can hear him saying this as I read it. It says, "Oh, you ain't hurting my feelings on Michigan. I know they ain't ish this year. 9-3 still will beat Ohio State University." I'm with you on that one. Hey, your team beats OSU. It's all about beating your rivals, right? For the University of Texas at El Paso, our Miners in El Paso, we've got to make sure they beat the hated New Mexico State University. The Battle of I-10. Tommy Canon's saying, "Boomer." Oh, yeah. Oklahoma. I've got to, man, we haven't even spoken about college football today. Well, I guess we kind of did. We spoke about the University of Texas at El Paso. Woot, woot. Texas Tech remains undefeated after beating Oregon State 45-14. Tennessee losing to Georgia. That was another fun game. I'm telling you, man, there was so much fun this weekend. So much fun. Oklahoma, a 42-3 victory over Temple, just beating the dog shit out of them. Alabama beating Wisconsin. Indiana, 73-0 over Indiana State. Georgia Tech beating Clemson. That was, again, another fun game to watch. It was such a good weekend. I'm trying to see. The University of Texas, Austin, 27-10 winners over the University of Texas at El Paso. Ohio State, 37-9 over Ohio. Miami, 49-12 over Southern Florida, USF. LSU, squeaking by Florida. Florida, man, they're not looking good. Michigan, 63-3 over Central Michigan. As B Strilla puts up here in the comments as well. So college football teams, Strilla's team wins. My team wins. If I'm not mistaken, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish have fallen now to 0-2. After Texas A&M goes into Notre Dame and beats the Irish 41-40. It was just a great weekend in sports general, guys. Like I am so happy. Football is back. You can see I look radiant. I'm glowing. It might also be all the various filters. I'm this excited. I haven't even had coffee yet. Just a pound of cocaine. That's a joke. Do not take that seriously, please. All right, y'all. Like I said, I got to end the show now. Got to end it before 8:30 so I can get my son in the car, load it up, go to a doctor's appointment. I believe there's going to be immunizations happening today. I'm saying it that way because I don't think he understands what that means. So we'll see how it goes. I will talk to you all later. Let's keep the conversation going. You got ways of talking to me. You know how to do that. Augustine saying coffee, LOL, what? You mean old Coca-Cola? Do you not drink coffee either? Like you're a weird guy, man. You're weird. You're a little weird guy. But we all love and appreciate you, Augustine. We embrace your weird on this show. If there's a show where the host can't be saying anything about other people being weird, it's this specific show because I am the weirdest man in the world. Augustine saying, I'm a Mormon. LOL, JK. Have you heard the good news, Augustine? No, that's not Mormon. That's J-dubs. I also said the term J-dub the other day, and someone looked at me like, what does that even mean? I realized whenever I talk about Jehovah's Witnesses, I call them J-dubs. Not everyone else does that. I'm probably going to get canceled for saying that. My apologies to the religious community that is out there. All right, y'all. Once again, a great weekend. I want to thank you all so much for your love and support, for being a part of today's show. We will see you tomorrow, and we can keep the conversation going, talking more sports, more football. Go Dallas Cowboys. They beat a Hall of Fame quarterback this weekend. The Dallas Cowboys beat a Hall of Fame quarterback this weekend. 16-1, baby.